Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, and my friends, we are here with the latest trailer breakdown for the King of Fighters 15 featuring Kula Diamond. Kula Diamond is King of Fighters resident Ditzy ice user. Think Sub-Zero, just maybe a little bit more acrobatic and maybe a few points less in the intelligence stat. So Kula rounds out Team Cronin, meaning there is now only one team left to fill out for the King of Fighters 15. Why is she part of Cronin's team, the people who tried to kill her before, and not part of Team K-Dash, which she has been in the last few games? Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Kula is one of the more straightforward characters in the King of Fighters. There's a lot of crazy characters, a lot of more simple characters. She's more on the simple end of things. She has an uppercut, she has what's effectively an even better than normal hurricane kick, although no traditional fireball. She does have an ice breath though. She's really easy to learn, her combo structure is really straightforward and simple. She's just great for beginners all around. So as always, I'll give you a full trailer breakdown, but first let me tell you a little bit about Kula Diamond. So just who is Kula? Well, Kula is the anti-K-Dash. She's effectively a biological weapon. She made her debut in the King of Fighters 2000, part of the infamous Nest saga, which is pretty convoluted and complex at times, and she is there to stop K-Dash. K-Dash being the hero of the saga and her being basically the antagonist, and fire versus ice, a classic tale, right? So the Nest organization, they're a bunch of naughty people. They don't exactly have much in the way of morals. And Kula is basically a child soldier. At least that's how she started. She was kidnapped and experimented on and given powers to stop K-Dash, who is an escaped subject of Nests. It's basically a big black mark on the organization that K-Dash got to escape. And therefore, it's time to eliminate him. And Kula was the one to do it. K-Dash, though, part of the reason he got to escape is they feel they didn't have enough oversight on him. So they empowered Kula with her own personal little zoo crew. From left to right, Diana, Kula, Candy, and Foxy. These are the people to watch over Kula while she's on her mission to stop K-Dash. And if you know later KOF games, Kula's on the K-Dash team, well, it probably didn't work out so good for her, right? So in King of Fighters 2000 specifically, this is the game where she joined in as a playable character, Zero goes rogue and betrays Ness, and he has the Zero Cannon, which easily and conveniently enough is a space-based death laser that's powered by martial arts energy. Just like how in the Orochi saga, the Orochi was awakened by the fighting energy of the King of Fighters 97, the Zero Cannon is powered by fighting energy as well, because that's how fighting tournaments work. Foxy and Diana basically murk Zero for betraying Ness because they are very loyal to Ness. And that's about the end of him, but don't worry, Ness saga being complicated, even though he dies here, that's not the end of Zero. While that was happening, Kula, however, was on top of the Zero Cannon. And she destroys it. So as far as power levels and stuff go in King of Fighters, that makes Kula one of the strongest characters in the history of the franchise, right near the top, because she can blow up a space station. And that's something your normal punch kick martial artist can't really do. One of the things about Kula is she's very childlike because she's a child soldier, right? So she doesn't often always use her full power, and she usually holds back. But in this situation, this is where she uses her full power. And it's good enough to blow up a freaking space station, right? Now here's the thing, you blow up a space station, you're in space, you fall, got to survive re-entry. Didn't think too far ahead on that one, right? But good thing Candy, who is the robot that was one of the people assigned to her, basically goes down in flames, protecting her on re-entry. Candy's a robot, and robot basically doesn't make it. And the rest of the series, she's trying to rebuild Candy effectively. But this is how it goes. You lose a friend, and then all of a sudden, Kula starts learning things like feelings. And feelings is a very inconvenient thing for your child super soldier to have. Moving on to King of Fighters 2001, Kula now is a threat of potentially running away, so Ness, hey, we better cut that liability out at the source, and they try to take her down. And on Hell and K49, otherwise now known as Cronin, kill Foxy and try to kill Kula. Kula manages to get away, and then K49 gets written out of the timeline for 20 years. Therefore, Foxy comes back to life in later games because it technically never happened. And we're in the really weird timeline where she's now on the Cronin team. But all I can really tell you is back in the day, they definitely tried to kill her. And from that point on, at the end of the Ness saga, the Ness cartel is for the most part defeated, thanks to K-Dash and crew, and there's more Ness cartel people on the side, but don't worry about that. It's not relevant to the main plot anymore. And basically, Kula gets picked up by the K-Dash crew. Diana and the magically reborn Foxy, because K49 got written out of the timeline, and all them basically also join the K-Dash crew, and then it's just basically a bunch of misfits trying to figure out their place in the world. K-Dash, the kidnapped kid who had forcibly implanted powers into him from Kyo Kusanagi. We have Maxima, our giant Canadian Hulk, whose quest for revenge is mostly over now. Whip, who is a clone of K-Dash's sister, but still is his sister, I guess, sorta, really. I don't know, it's difficult. But they're a family now, so that's great. And Kula, who still effectively has the mind of a child. She's not too bright. She never had a life to live, really. Joins up with them, and they basically become her guardians. And after the K-Dash crew does all this, they basically move forward into irrelevancy in later King of Fighters games, as they are very much on the periphery of the actual important characters. Their main time to shine has happened, and now let's move our focus forward to Ash Crimson and the Kyo Kusanagi crew again. At which point, basically, all their plots are, oh, Kula wants ice cream. So we joined the tournament because she wanted ice cream. And that's literally why they joined the tournament in the King of Fighters 13, by the way, just because Kula wanted ice cream. In the games, classically, she's always had a bunch of pretty decent normals. I would say above average normals. Has her invincible reversal and her uppercut, the crow bite. She has effectively her Tatsu, it's a giant spinning kick, from which she can do multiple follow-ups, either a projectile or a slide. She has some versions of Ice Breath. This is one of her main pressure tools, as the heavy one is plus on block with like 1,000,000 active frames. And she has pretty super easy and forgiving combo structure. In 14, she was not really a character that needed max mode, unlike a lot of the cast. You can just string stuff together and it works. Like K-Dash, she is also a master of the 1-inch punch. If you do it by itself, it forces a crumple from which you can combo afterwards. Also a very important command normal, because you'll use it in your combo structure quite a bit. In the older games, she would often summon a lot of her protectors, Diana, Foxy, and Candy, for a lot of her moves. Although in later era games, they sort of disappeared once she joined the K-Dash team. And now for the trailer breakdown. First thing, you can see her skating around. That's always been one of her things, is she can just create ice wherever she goes and then skate around on it for extra mobility. And oh my god, her model looks so much better than her King of Fighters 14 model. So many improvements in this game, yes, but this one's definitely a standout. Everything in this game looks so sharp compared to 14. I think it's a true triumph of this game. And as always in these trailers, we start with a whole barrage of normals. So stand light punch, stand heavy kick, her command normal slide. Yes, that's a low. You have to block it low. We have this guy as well. This is all new. This is a new jumping normal for her. Now, I don't know if it replaces, like, say, light punch or if it's a command normal in the air. But one thing about it is it definitely crosses up, which is very handy. She does have cross-ups, but they're very finicky on the spacing. This looks like it's very generous. Her offense has always been a little vanilla, you know, not too crazy. So giving her an easy access cross-up, so like her short hop pressure and all that stuff, or hyper hops and all that, would be a lot scarier if she can just more reliably cross you up. Definitely a big buff to have something like this. After that is her basic sweep. It's a pretty decent sweep. Next, her stand CD, her power attack. This is what I talked about earlier when I say she has above average normals. This is one of the better CDs in the King of Fighters 14, so I can only imagine it's really good in this game as well. In the trailer, it hits a little close, but it actually has pretty dang decent range. It's basically the entire range of the ice block she's hitting you with. From there, we have her back throw, and then a little cinematic here, explaining maybe why she's on Team Cronin, because she's awful mad at K-Dash. Now, why is she mad at K-Dash? Who knows? On the official website as well, the whole reason the K-Dash team has joined is to get Kula back because Kula ran away because they're fighting for some reason herself and K-Dash. Whatever the reason is, she basically wants revenge against K-Dash and is joined up with her nominal enemies, Cronin and Angel. Going further into the trailer, we get to see some EX moves. First is her EX Uppercut, very invincible. Then we have EX Breath, and that is a true crumple, so you can combo after the fact. EX Reflect, because she can reflect projectiles. EX Ray Spin, it launches, and she can do one of her follow-ups here, and she's choosing the projectile follow-up. And now we have the showstopper, this guy right here. So this is an all-new move for Kula in the mainline King of Fighters franchise. I say mainline because she actually had this move in one of like the Maximum Impact games. I never played those, they're weird games. But yeah, so she basically summons projectiles from the top of the screen and they fall down on you. This is the EX version. The regular version would summon only one snowman. And with this move, now all of a sudden Kula has a whole new game plan she never had before, and that is of pressure. And we'll see an example later in the trailer, but basically she can set it up over your head, it's gonna fall, and then what decisions are you gonna make, right? She might catch you trying to do something stupid, or if you're passive and block, maybe she can try to mix you up. Definitely a big deal. After this, we get a bit of a super showcase here. So first off, we see stand close heavy kick. This is a 2-hit move into her pillar super, level 1 version. Stand close heavy punch, also 2 hits, into her level 2 version of her rush super. Close heavy punch again into light diamond dust, that knocks down. Here's another one of the big deals in the trailer. So Kula does her heavy breath, the fierce version, and then goes into stand heavy punch and combos after the fact. The thing is, this does not work in the King of Fighters 14. You could never combo stand heavy punch after the fact. They would recover much too quick. So some combination of the breath having more hits done and stand heavy punch being faster, and it's already one of the really better pokes she has, so that'd be really great as well. And the fact you get combo potential off of this. The fierce version of the breath attack has a lot of active frames and is also plus on block, and now it gives a combo on hit. Kula definitely doing very well by these new buffs in King of Fighters 15. More buffs as well, so we have light ray spin into the sweep follow-up and combos into the reflect. This also is not possible in the King of Fighters 14, and it looks like when you combo into the reflect now, this gives a true hard knockdown just going by the animation. And now enter Kula's whole new game plan that she never had before. After this hard knockdown, we do our new snowman move, and the enemy kind of has to wake up into it. Now, being that the enemy's in the corner, they can't roll backwards. Their only option if they want to roll is roll forwards, and Kula definitely recovers much quicker than they fully get up afterwards. So if you try to roll out of this, she can easily punish you, and if you just sit and block, well, then she gets to do whatever she wants to do. So Kula now has a whole pressure slash mix-up slash Ogi game she never had before. This is a very big deal. She is very buffed compared to what she was in the King of Fighters 14 for sure. After this, we have another combo example. So close heavy kick, we have both hits of close heavy kick, into EX breath, which is a crumple, so you can juggle after the fact, EX ray spin, and then into an EX uppercut. Maybe not the most optimal, but looks cool. And now we have our big super dump. Level 1 rush super into level 2 ice pillar super. Seemingly has a much better hitbox this time around. And then into our level 3 climax super where she encases you in ice and then, well, kind of blows you up. And that, my friends, is the Kula Diamond trailer. So overall, I gotta say I'm pretty impressed just from what the trailer itself has to show us. So Kula was always a character I would recommend to someone as a beginner character, right? But once you got better at the game, you would move on to someone else because she's always been kind of especially in the King of Fighters 14. It's not one of her better versions. And this version compared to the King of Fighters 14 is like turbocharged. We have new combo routes. We have a whole new move, which gives us a whole new world of pressure. They gave us a way to hard knockdown so you can enable that pressure. We have seemingly a new better cross-up to work with for better mix-ups. She's simply working with a lot more than she had in the previous game, for sure. And compared to the previous game as well, in terms of model glow-ups, she definitely is one of the most improved models compared to the King of Fighters 14. Story-wise, it remains to be seen why she got so mad at K-Dash, left the team, and joined up with her attempted murderers. We'll see how that one goes, I guess. But yeah, that's the second to last character. There's only one character left to reveal now before we get to our finale of 39 characters. Now, who could that character be? Like, who could guess, right? You might as well be throwing darts at the wall. It's an unknowable prospect. But the finish line is in sight. The King of Fighters 15 launches next month. So I guess the shill, when it does come out, I'll be your go-to channel for guides, combos, tech, all that kind of stuff. And until then, hey, that's the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some King of Fighters.